Welcome to another edition of Comic Book Business News. It is I, Josh Goldstein, on 2/18/23. Here in the news. The second Ukrainian war is raging on for another year as Russians are poised to take Buka. The Ukrainians are holding their ground on the eastern front of the war. Although Russia, um, like my prediction for the war is that Russia will be driven from these eastern provinces, and although they will hang on to Crimea, although there is a possibility Putin in rolling the dice risk Crimea. In that sense, Putin could lose all by the end of the war because although the Wagner Group are vaunted mercenaries, in using conscripts, he has shown his weakness and the weakness of his army. And although the Russian army is still one of the best in the world, still only second to US and China, there are limits to its manpower. And I'm not saying Russia can't win the war. I'm just saying it's highly unlikely that they'll walk away with a whole lot of land to annex. I would come to peace negotiations now if I want to walk away with anything. That is anything, Devarich, because I think that if you want to hold on to Crimea, you should negotiate now. If you want to if you want to hold on to the Donbass or any eastern gain, you should be willing to give up a lot of land also that you have under your control because it's really not yours and not internationally recognized. Although in war, land often changes hands even since 1950. Like India and China fought some border skirmishes. The Israelis and the Arabs fought some wars. We've even had two Yemeni civil wars, and multiple wars in Africa, and the Ukrainian War of 2014 saw Russia annex Crimea. The Georgian Russian War of 2000 of 2000 of the turn of the 21st century saw Russia take Ossetia and South Ossetia, in which they set up a puppet state, Ossetia, and set up and annex South Ossetia. So, and Putin sort of either puts down rebellions or he and independence movements where he fights wars in Georgia or Ukraine, where he annexes small pieces of land. He isn't going to be Peter the Great, but this is the theory behind this type of Russian politic, where you fight small proxy wars to boost your country's propaganda that you were a great country. Now, it's not done in China per se, although, build a strong Chinese military makes you great. It's not, they don't fight a war yet, although there's always the possibility of war in Taiwan. Not yet. I think they've learned from Russia, their friend, and who wants to be Russia right now? Not me. And I think President Xi likes his relationship with the United States with US and China's cultivated a longer relationship than that with Russia, and going you relationship with the US and China goes back to Nixon and Mao. I mean, you don't want to risk that. Although I would not risk it over Taiwan, I would think that Taiwan is not worth the time. You might want to think that maybe a little, and also coming up is in the entertainment side is Shazam. Ant-Man 2 was a very good movie, I must say. And I think having Michael Douglas and Bill Murray in a movie where the actor is no biggie and the co-star is no the main male co-star and protagonist are no biggies. So it's almost what is Michael Douglas, just what is an old hors d'oeuvre, or is, I know Michael Douglas as Henry Pym is an hors d'oeuvre, and is Bill Murray just, garment, like that's the thing about Marvel movies. I could have a total no name as the lead actor, and I could have Michael Douglas just in the movie, and Bill Murray's just a nothing role. It's just kind of fun. I think this was a good one or two movie to see one or two times, but I think it's just. And by the way, Shazam 2 is coming March 17th. So for all you Captain Marvel adventures or fans of Shazam, I think you're gonna like that movie. And just get a big bucket of popcorn and and or some nachos and just watch it. Shazam! And I kind of think that, like like okay, and and now I would like to say now the comics. Smell the pages. Okay, we have Justice League. What, number 44? This comic book is really cool. Peril of Tartarus. We have Venditi Semadgul and Fajardo Jr. whoever these guys are. The artwork's okay. And Wonder Woman's got nice boobs. The guy who draws her boobs good. You never want Gal Gadot's boobs to be not good. And Aquaman almost looks like the movie guy. They're capitalizing on their new look they have in the movies, and the movies, the comic books are becoming like the movies, the smaller version of the movies. That's what you do when you just do stuff like they did that with like after they had after Michael Keaton, they made that movie. The comic books reflected the movie. We saw the bluish Danny O'Neill Batman go away. It became more like the Frank Miller Batman. Just took over the character. I like the Dark Knight's Dark Knight's Death Metal was a great graphic novel. I remember that I bought it at a show. This Superman, some heavy metal guy. So that was a great. This is like a 3. This isn't a bad, almost, but it's not great. This is Excalibur 24, I think. This is all right. This is great. This is all right. Excalibur is like an artsy fartsy kind of comic book. And see Morgan Le Fay and some Murdochs. Some artistically displayed are the X-Men. Tina Howard is our writer. Marcus Toe is our artist. Eric Ansena is our color artist. Anybody do inkers? I don't know. We have some. Gambit is definitely in this issue. And Jubilee. We have Egyptian gods of some sort. Captain America, Captain Britain. Captain Britain again. Captain Britain. We have some more various more British superheroes like King Arthur and Merlin and This is, I think, kind of not my favorite comic book. This is a 2, and I'm telling you why it's a 2. This is just typical Marvel stuff. I like Excalibur. This is not my favorite Excalibur. This is an example of a good comic book. Savage Dragon 262. Although I waited since July last year for it, Eric, I like this comic book. No, I don't care. Whenever you decide to have these comic books come out, I'll I'll actually I'll actually take the comic book. Although I like although I might get real if it I understand it's hard. It's hard. Like what? Wow, Malcolm's got quite a good looking girlfriend. She's better looking than my last girlfriend. I know. My girlfriend, she she didn't even let me buy her that Starbucks card. She's totally a. I mean, my girlfriend nice ass, but Maxine's got a nice ass. Dragon's got some nice shorties. Oh my god. Oh, that guy. Oh my god, that's just child abuse. Amy Dragon got her hand bitten off. Oh my god. That shark's got a mohawk. Somebody tell me so there one kid is missing. But what happened to the shark? Did the shark just get its ass kicked and they dragged it off to freak jail? I mean, tell me, Eric, what happened? Um, I'm thinking I'm looking forward to the next issue, like I always do with this comic book. This comic book gets a 4.5 out of 5. Way to go. Good job, Eric. And this show is almost over, but I've got to make some announcements about do the about Nerdfest on February 26th. I will be there in Swedesboro, New Jersey, at the Holiday Inn on Pureland Lane. I will be signing copies of my book, Zayn and This War, which I will hold up now. Zayn and This War. And I will be and I will um be signing copies of it as well as selling copies of my other books and signing copies of them. And I sign copies for free. You just have to buy the book. So this book is the new book and hmm, could be interesting. So let me take a As her ship entered the orbit of the third planet from the sun, Aviva Alpha used her ship's sensors to scan for evidence of Call's presence of a little blue world. She found where her ships rested in a Zayan citadel by Earth's Dead Sea. I hope have to land the ship carefully or not to alarm the local authorities and curiosity seekers, thought Aviva as she descended her fighter. Aviva very carefully landed the fighter near the citadel she could. Slipping into the citadel, she startled Call's servants and Call, who was meditating in a trance and was startled to see her. Who are you? Call Olive, Prince. Call Olive, I am Princess Aviva Alefa, daughter of your brother Tolno, king of Olive. Our land is healing, but Mavis still lives. His regime is on the verge of collapse, and to most he is uses to mostly fear to keep Amagog stable. Right now, your brother feels you that if you returned, you could finally throw the knockout punch within a without a war that could cost thousands of lives, Aviva said. And then after staring through her uncle's ripped muscles and his para garb, she's smiling and eyeing him too. So will you do it, uncle? Will you save us? She said. It's not my time, Aviva. I must complete the first part of my destiny before I return. Aviva went to another room and leapt onto a bed. Make sure she's okay. I don't want her doing anything foolish, he said to the Arab servants. Don't worry, sir. So, so this is, mm, I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking Aviva eventually returns to Zayn with Kal Aleph, or Kal Aleph eventually returns to Zayn somehow. I mean, could be could be interesting. So, and you could get that wonderful book on Amazon.com or Barnes and Noble. And look for my Amazon author page on Amazon.com. Anyway, you can also find me on eBay or Books a Million or other places. Um, and okay, so goodbye and good luck.